Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to the recap and breakdown. Today we're taking a look at UFC Fight Night Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady, which just took place last night, Saturday, the 22nd of March, 2025, and we're going to be taking a look at the entire card, starting with the prelims, ending with the main event. It was a somewhat eventful card. There was a couple robberies. There was a couple uneventful fights that were a little bit bum. We're going to take a look at all of them. Let's get right into it, starting with the prelim opener of Kawi Fernandez versus Guram Kutateladze. Now, I did pick Guram to win the fight. I did not pick him confidently, and that was because he looks terrible. He really does. He doesn't take shots very well. He can't get into the pocket very well. He's kind of just a guy who can wrestle well, keep you against the cage, and just give you some ground and pound shots until you give up. Now, Kawi Fernandez is a guy who's a really, really good kickboxer. His left kick is dangerous, very, very fast, and he dropped Guram, I think, twice in the fight. Chewed his legs apart. Both legs were done. Guram basically was starting to give up at the end of the third round, where both legs were toast. He was on his back, and Kawi just kind of let him coast to a decision, which was a little bit lucky for Guram. I think he could have got a leg kick TKO if he really wanted to. I think Kawi just needed to back up a little bit and just keep throwing the kicks, and he would have gotten it. Instead, he engages in the grappling with Guram, kind of gives him a saving grace, lets Guram Kutateladze rest a little bit. And even though he had Khamzat Chimaev in his corner, he has the Tuporia brothers in his corner, Guram Kutateladze looks ass. He looks like he has nothing left for him inside of the UFC. Kawi Fernandez closes as a plus 300, 4-1 underdog, and yet he still owns Guram Kutateladze. After watching the Guram fight, you already knew what was in store for Jordan Vucenic later in the night. You can see the fight IQ on both men is just fucking horrendous. Guram is definitely getting out of the UFC at this point. Kawi Fernandez, again, that left kick is dangerous. He will most likely not be a underdog in his next fight due to this win over Guram. But reminder, Alves Brenner beat Guram. Like, not always will these guys be fucking favorites and be fortunate enough to win the fight. Kawi Fernandez in his next fight most likely will be a favorite. He will most likely fight a more dangerous guy, and he'll most likely lose a close point fight, because that's usually what happens to these types of guys that just get these fucking big wins. They get a big win as a big underdog. They're a big favorite the next fight. Chris Padilla, kind of, if you look at it, you know, Chris Padilla hasn't really been proven yet. You know, Rong Zhu arguably lost to Jai Herbert last night. You know, there's a couple positions where you really shouldn't be giving that guy the favorite tag. You know, against Rong Zhu. Rong Zhu's really, really tenured. Arguably could have been given that favorite tag, and I don't believe he was. Anyway, we're going to move on next on the prelims. Just be careful with Kawi Fernandez coming up. Again, very, very dangerous kick. His left kick is nasty. His head kicks are really good. Again, leg kicks are phenomenal. Shoot the box style. Just let him flow. Let's see really what he can do next, because at 155 guys get really tough really quick. Let's see how he can do. Now we're gonna go on next in the prelims. Now this is the first robbery of the night. I saw Kalen Loughran versus Nathan Fletcher. Now Nathan Fletcher I picked all week. He was one of my best bets. He had already defeated Kalen Loughran in their amateur series in Cage Warriors many years ago. Cage Warriors Academy Ireland 1. And Kalen lost a long decision in that fight, where it's almost arguably exactly what happened in this fight. Kalen picks up the speed in the first round. Boxing looks crisp. I mean, close round. I give it to Kalen. Round 2, Fletcher literally hangs on the back of Kalen Loughran the whole time. Arguably could have been a 10-8. Kalen really did nothing. Ends the round with a weak takedown. Does nothing with it. Nathan Fletcher clearly wins round 2. We go to round 3. Now, if damage is your highest criteria, okay? If damage is the highest criteria, which, if we look up what are the scoring criteria for UFC, okay? Okay? The 10-point must system: dominance, effective aggression, significant strikes, takedowns, defensive actions, okay? Okay? Dominance, okay? He was dominating the round, okay? He was doing more, right? Top scoring criteria for UFC, okay? When we, okay, each, yeah, in depth. Here, well, fucking Jesus, can we just, I just want them to show me striking capabilities, okay? That's number 1. Number 1, aggressiveness and striking capabilities. This is the worst fucking Photoshop I've ever seen, by the way. Look at this. Look at this goofy shit. Oh my God. Scoring effectiveness, which is damage. That is striking count. That is aggressiveness. That is pushing forward. That is dealing damage. Nathan Fletcher was pushing forward, keeping Kalen Lochran on the back foot. He, while arguably not, he did get taken down early in the round, but when we get back up on our feet, he is landing the bigger strikes, right? We get to the last 45 seconds of the round. Nathan Fletcher lands a big fury and lands a massive cut on Kalen Lochran's face. That is the biggest damaging strike of the entire fight. That automatically should win you the third round in a close round. Automatically. And Fletcher could have been given a 30-27 even. But I give the first round to Kalen. 29-28 Fletcher. It should have been clear. It was clear cut. And they give it to Lochran. They give it to the Irishman. And it makes no sense to me. Unanimous, or a split decision. There was a unanimous one later. That's fucking bullshit. A split decision, which is just horrendous. I don't know who fucking, I can't even type right now. Just let the fucking Google do it, okay? Everyone scores at Fletcher. Everyone's, look at this. 73% of fans score Fletcher. Okay, everyone gives Lochran round 1. I give him it too. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I thought it was a complete robbery. Nathan Fletcher looked good. Might get cut for this. Unfortunately, he may get cut for this. I mean, did lose to Con Ofley, loses to Kalen Lochran, now split decision. I thought he won. I mean, did take a short notice fight against Ziggy Mantis Ramashka. They will probably keep him around for that. Kalen Lochran looked like shit, looked trash. Same thing that happened with Jake Hadley. Same thing that happened with Taylor Lapidus. Fighting a guy who's just a bit better, has a bit more in the tank, loses the third round, but somehow the judges give it to him. Fuck him. We're going to go on next on the prelims. Joanna Bannon versus Pooja Tomar. What the fuck? This was crazy. Pooja Tomar lands a head kick inside of the second. By the way, first round. I probably should talk about the first round. First round. Pitter-pat. Joanna Bannon won the round, in my opinion. Okay, Pooja was landing a little bit. Landed some good strikes at the end, but Joanna Bannon, karate stance, the side kicks, beautiful. Perfect. Okay, she wins the first round. Go to the second round. Pooja fucking drops her. Okay, drops her with a head kick and starts laying into her with ground and pound. Now, I got scared because Bannon was on the rest of my parlays. I got cooked with Fletcher. We need Bannon here. And my heart stopped. I was like, oh, she's knocked down. She's almost out. She's almost out. And 9 times out of 10, if it was any other who ref this fight? Lucas Bozaki. I want that guy reffing every fucking fight I ever watch from now on. And I want that guy reffing my fights if I ever fight. This guy saw Joanna move, which I thought the fight was over. I would have stopped it. If I'm being honest, if I was a ref, I don't care how much training I've had, I would have stopped it right there. She ate a fucking head kick. Here, we're going to pull up the picture. Give me 2 seconds. She ate a head kick. She went down, and she somehow was able to move into a more advantageous position and grab a hold of the fucking arm. And I don't know how she was able to grab a hold of the arm. And she was able to grab an armbar against Pooja Tomar. Pooja Tomar was out. She was out of the armbar. She literally was past it. She was out. What does she do? Andre Fili against Makwizzi Acosta shoves her fucking arm back in and gets this. Look at this, dude. What, like? Who survives that? Who? Look at that. That is fucking picture. Look at her fat rolls in her stomach. She literally threw everything into that shit. Everything. Pooja threw everything into that. Dropped her. And Bannon still comes back with an armbar. What the fuck, man? Unbelievable victory for Joanna Bannon, showing that this fucking girl is down with the sickness. Her first submission win in her fucking career, and she gets it in a time of need, a time where she's fucking vulnerable on the ground, eating big shots from Tomar. Pooja should have just got up. That's terrible. Terrible work by Pooja Tomar. She has 4 submission losses, and 2 of them being armbar. You literally shoved your arm back in the armbar. That's how fucking bad her armbar defense is. She shoved her arm back into it. Come on, bro. Get with the program. Next on the prelims, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andrei Puliev. Now, this is one of the most boring fights I've ever watched in my fucking life. CLD clearly has the fucking frame advantage. Guy's huge. He's massive. Puliev weighs in at 185. Meanwhile, CLD's at 186, walking around at 205, 210, and Puliev's fucking like 190 wet. Like, this guy got mauled, man. Andre landed maybe a couple nice shots. Just the clinch work from Christian Leroy Duncan was nice. Forcing him against the cage, making Puliev work. It was a boring fight, but it's exactly the type of fight you need to do against a guy that's fucking dangerous like Andre Puliev. You know, a round one finisher, you got to tire him, and that's exactly what CLD did. It's an unfortunate loss of fans for CLD at this point. He's kind of looking like shit. Looked a little bit too timid. Looked like he could have finished the fight at many points and just chose not to. Looked like he wanted to just glide to a decision instead of, you know, throwing some hands with Andre Puliev, which, you know, it is what it is. Puliev got warned for timidness, was backing on his bike the whole time. Christian Leroy Duncan was just following him the whole time. He got warned for timidness again. He got warned in the corner for it. Hey, I'm going to have to take a point. You know, it's against the rules. You got to fucking move. Whatever. It is what it is. Terrible fight to watch, but Christian Leroy Duncan gets it done. Anyone else at 185 that has power punching, CLD better wake the fuck up, because they're not giving him that leeway to just coast. Next on the prelims, we had Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. Again, I picked flip off of Tybura, and I picked fucking Mick Parkin because, you know, why not? Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't I keep my fucking pick? No, I picked flip to fucking Mick the Dick Parkin. Honestly, I thought Mick got robbed. I thought he won. I thought Tybura didn't do enough. I thought his awkward stance wasn't enough to fucking get through. It was a close fight. Could have gone 29-28 either way. They gave it Marcin Tybura unanimously. I thought it could have been a split. I thought that's a little bit shit. It is what it is. Maybe I'm just a little bit salty because Polish fucking power, and Marcin Tybura should have fucking... I should have picked him. I tell you guys every week, do not listen to me when I pick flip. When I pick flip, you don't listen. Guess what? I told you guys last week. I pick flipped off of Marcin Tybura. That means he's probably going to win. So you probably should pick him. But guess what I did? On my parlays, I put Mick the Dick Parkin. That's your new name, Dick. That's your new name, because you fucking you go to the third round and we're just like I thought it was going to be a fucking conditioned fight. I thought I was going to see these guys go to a fucking long distance. He has a Kyle Machado decision, a Muhammad Usman decision, and he looks more fucking tired against Tybura than any of those guys. And those guys are fucking huge. Tybura's not even close to their weight. And fucking Usman's trying to fucking wrestle with him, and Kyle Machado's trying to put the pressure on him. Meanwhile, Tybura looks like he's just backing up, doing that awkward shit whenever he's just baiting Mick Parkin in, and he's just backing up the whole time. Fuck, man. Whatever. Mick Parkin lost the fight. It is what it is. I'm just salty, okay? He had an inch of reach. He had an inch of height. He gave up the first round to Tybura, won the second round. I thought he won the third round. No. Couldn't even knock him out. He had him rocked, too. God damn it, Mick is shit. I knew he was going to lose to a fucking actual heavyweight, too. As soon as he fights an actual heavyweight, these cans fold. Like, Mick Parkin's not even a good heavyweight, and fucking... Like, Bresky just sucks. God damn it. Next on the prelims, we have Loner Kavanagh versus Felipe Dos Santos. Now, I picked Loner Kavanagh by decision. I picked him by points, minus 120. That was one of the best bets of the week. I did put it in the cycle parlay, and it did smash. Felipe Dos Santos just too durable. He did win a round. He like 100% he did win a round. It was close, man. Loner was bleeding. Lost the first round, won the second round, won the third round. Felipe almost won that third round. There was a lot of blood coming out of Kavanagh's head from that hairline cut that he did sustain inside that first round. But really, really good comeback from Loner Kavanagh. Really good corner work. They told him exactly what he needed to hear. They said, hey, you need to wake up. Let's go. We need to put the pressure on this guy. You saw what's going on. You need to move. Like, let's go. Okay, he wakes up. He forces the pressure inside the second round, gets him down. Okay, good. And Felipe Dos Santos is a nasty, nasty submission artist. This guy's really, really good with jiu-jitsu. Again, he's Brazilian. These guys train it from birth. He couldn't get it. Loner is moving really, really good on the ground. The submission defense from Loner Kavanagh was kind of fucking surprising. He was very, very well aware of where he was. He was a step ahead of Felipe Dos Santos, trying to, stay ahead of the position, trying to just not allow an armbar or a triangle, which Felipe was getting very close to, but again, would not allow it to happen. Loner Kavanagh wins a long decision. 29-28, very good victory for Kavanaugh. Felipe Dos Santos, again, very fucking durable, man. He's a very fun fighter to watch. I'm sure they will keep him around. If he fights anyone until he probably could clean up the 125 division. If you put him against like any of the from the top 60 to top 40, the bottom guys inside the UFC, he'll fucking mop him. Felipe Dos Santos will knock those guys out. He's nasty, man. He looks really nasty. Loner Kavanaugh, just a good prospect, actually fucking decent. Actually can come through adversity, actually can look like he fucking can adapt during a fight and change how he's fighting in order to win the fight. Loner Kavanaugh looks like a real prospect. That's a real prospect. Not Mick Parkin, not fucking Shawana Benin, or fucking, who's that other dude? Danny Barlow. None of these one-dimensional shitheads. Loner Kavanaugh has the power, he has the left hand, he has the grappling, he has the clinching, he has the trips, he has it all. He has the work. I want to see him fucking improve. And he's young, right? 25. Let's go, baby. And top prelim of the evening, the featured bout. Chris Padilla versus Jai, the Black Country Banger. Herbert. Let's take a look. Now, I had it for either guy live. Yeah, they have it even. Now, I thought Padilla won round 1 and 2. Let's see what these guys think. Yeah, the problem is, though, it's really, 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 really hard to score these rounds. They didn't fucking throw anything. They didn't throw shit. They really didn't. Like they really fucking didn't. Herbert won the third round very clearly. Chris was just slowing down very heavily. Jai was putting the pressure on him. Chris was fading. Chris was hurt, too. Like, you could see it. He had a big cut on him, too, at the end. And Jai clearly won the third round just off damage. And by the way, if you give him that third round, you got to give it to Fletcher in the third round. Like, you have to, man. Okay, you know what? Okay, I can't even fucking type. It's fine. It's fine. I don't even know this guy's name. It doesn't matter. Okay, so two of the same fucking refs that ref the Fletcher fight. There you go. Right there. Anders Olsen. The third round of Fletcher. Oh, thank the gods. You know how to score. Okay, so I can't talk shit about him. Oh, but Vitor Paulilo. Vitor Paulilo. Oh, you're going to give Padilla the first 2 rounds. You're going to score that right. But you're going to give Herbert the third round. Meanwhile, you won't give Fletcher the fucking third round. No, you can't give Fletcher the third round because you're a donkey and you probably didn't pay attention to the third round. You probably saw the last fucking, or the first 4 minutes and you were like, oh, Kalen won. And then you saw the last minute and you're like, oh, I didn't watch it. Good job, buddy. Good job. Anyway, sorry, I'm really salty about the fucking Nathan Fletcher fight. He won. He won. He really did win. Anyway, Chris Padilla 1 and 2, Herbert 3. It was pretty clear. Nobody won that fight. I agree with that top comment on MMA decisions. Nobody won that fight. We all lost. We all watched a shitty fight. We all got depressed. We all got really sad. It is what it is. It is what it is. Shit happens. This is probably the worst fight of the entire night. Chris Padilla wins a split decision. Not really well earned. Again, this is a KO guy who's scared. That's what you saw last night. This is Chris Padilla is scared. This is him not wanting to engage with Jai Herbert. This is him knowing he has no advantageous position on the feet. Jai Herbert's long. His legs are crazy. His kicks are crazy. His kickboxing is just significantly better than anything that Chris Padilla has ever thrown in his life. And he just didn't have that atmosphere tonight. He's not fighting inside the Apex. He's not fighting inside this fucking closed environment where it's quiet. He's fighting inside England where he's fighting Jai Herbert, who's hyped up, who's looking for a fucking knockout, who's bigger than Chris, and Chris has to like slow it down and try and just play it safe. He did win on the scorecards. He did win the fight. Congratulations to Chris Padilla. Now we're going to move on to the main card of the evening. If you guys did enjoy this show so far, drop a like. It helps me out. Now we're going to go Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier. I had Nathaniel Wood 30-27, and that is what happened. Morgan just couldn't really get started. Nathaniel Wood just looked quicker. He looked like he had better strikes than fucking Morgan Charrier. And when I talked about this fight, I did say Morgan is the better kickboxer. Nathaniel's going to be needing to mix up the grappling. He's going to be needing to force the pressure because if Morgan can get off, he's going to be able to tag him up. And Nathaniel Wood's been clipped in his fights before, so you should expect him to get clipped here. not what happened. Morgan landed a couple good strikes maybe, but like majority of the fight was Nathaniel Wood owning him. Like really, it was a fantastic win for Nathaniel Wood on his record. It's a huge win. Morgan Shekhayar again just moves on to 20-11, not really improving in his grappling aspect. He did look somewhat decent against Shepe Maniscal, but like against Nathaniel Wood, clearly Nathaniel Wood's just better than Shepe because Wood owned him. He owned him. He did exactly what he was going there to do. He talked about it all week, saying he wants to put the pressure on Morgan. He wants to win all 3 rounds. He wants to get a finish. Unfortunately, he did not get a finish. He's not really a guy who's going to get a finish, though. He's more of a, I mean, if he's going to get a finish inside the UFC, probably going to be a submission. It's easier to get than these big knockouts with these guys who are very strong nowadays. But a good win for Nathaniel Wood. Very proud of him. I did have him as one of the best bets of the week as a what is it? Honorable mention. A good win for Wood. Now we're gonna move on instead of just stutter stepping and being unable to talk about anything in that last fight. Chris Duncan versus Jordan Vucenic. Now, just depressing. Chris Duncan wins the first round. Jordan Vucenic starts to grapple, starts to have Chris Duncan fading inside the second round, starts to piece him up with some nice shots. Okay, so he's starting to come back. Now we're starting to shoot takedowns from really far out. I don't know about that. He gets back up, though. Okay. Instead of Chris Duncan being able to just hold him there. Chris Duncan did take a break for a second, though. He tried to hold him in, like, a weird position where he... You know that, where like, you shuck the guy down. Like, you shoot for a double leg, and the guy sprawls. He has you in the sprawl, and then he swings around to the back. That's what Chris was trying to do, but he's kind of just holding in the sprawl spot because he was fucking exhausted. And Jordan was sitting there for a second, too. Gets back up. And then he shoots another takedown near the cage with 2 minutes to go. And just gets... Or 3 minutes to go, excuse me. And just gets fucking stuck in it. Or no, it is 2 minutes to go. Gets stuck. And I was like, oh, is he in a guillotine? And I was like, nah, Jordan Vucenic's fine. He knows how to fucking handle this. Oh, and then I see his hands start going up. Oh, and tapping. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Chris was holding it like this. And he was looking around. Bro was just... sitting there, just looking around, not really holding. Jordan just fucking taps. I can't believe it. Jordan Vucenic is a bum. Again, only beaten guys in Cage Warriors who are fucking shit are like fought bums, and I knew that going into it. But Chris Duncan did show a huge fucking problem with his ground game against Manuel Torres. And he also showed that he does kind of gas out when it leads into longer and longer fights. He isn't really a guy that wants to get to a decision. He wants to be that guy that just beats the shit out of you quick, gets out of there, and that's all there is to it. Chris Duncan does win by submission, gets a nasty fucking guillotine on Jordan Vucenic, and submits the Cage Warriors champion. And Chris Duncan moves on inside the 155-pound division. Meanwhile, Jordan Vucenic's probably getting kicked out. And after seeing Guram get fucking mauled by Cowie Fernandez, I had a feeling I was going to watch him get fucking Jordan Vucenic get mauled by Chris Duncan. He didn't get mauled, but his fight IQ is piss, and he really should not be in the UFC if that's how his fight IQ is. He had him hurt. He had Duncan hurt. He had him tired, and he goes in for a takedown from range, and then he goes in for another takedown and gets submitted. You're dog shit. You're dog shit, and I don't give a fuck. Next on the main card, Alexia Thanera versus Meatball Molly McCain. The lock of the week in props. I had Alexia Thanera by submission, sitting at a plus 430. Molly Meatball McCain, exposed in her ground game many times before. Very, very clear that this girl just gets caught in random shit. And Alexia Thanera exposed her. She walks out the whole time, losing her mind. So excited. She was fucking dancing her whole way there. I was so pumped up watching her. I was like, yeah, she was just fucking hyped. I was so excited watching her get pumped up like that. And I posted to Reddit like a loser, and I said, this lady acting like she already submitted Meatball Molly. And guess what fucking happened? She submitted Meatball Molly by fucking rear naked choke. Meatball got her back taken with a minute left. Was fighting the hands well. Fought off the first choke. The second choke, Alexia just rolled to her left, and Meatball just kind of landed her chin right in between the arms, and taps. And she loses inside the first round by submission. Meatball Molly does end up retiring from mixed martial arts competition after the fight. She thanks Dana. She thanks the UFC. And she thanks the fucking Scouts. It's unfortunate. It made me a little bit sad to watch her retire, but Meatball really arguably should have never been inside the UFC. She does have a good win over Priscilla. She has a good win over Ariane Lipski. She has a good win over Diana Belbita. But the problem kind of comes in as she got older, as she, got away from her Cage Warriors stint, as she got away from her first UFC stint, going into COVID and stuff, she kind of got worse. And the problem was she was focusing more on her boxing rather than her grappling. Very clearly, she has a grappling disadvantage. When she fights strikers, she does win the fight. When she fights any type of grappler, she cannot win the fight. She thanks Dana, she thanks the UFC, but she says, after that type of performance, I can't fight anymore. And it's true. If you're not improving your ground game, man, you're fucking 34 years of age. You're not really improving it anymore. Like, these younger kids are going to be improving so much faster than you. Your defense is going to be fucking 3 years behind their offense. It is what it is. Unfortunate for Molly, but it's a good time to retire. Good win for Alexia Thanera in her UFC debut. She wins $50K of the performance of the night. And she's going to move on at 115 and probably just start mauling people. We're going to move on next on the main card. Kevin Holland, the Trailblazer versus Gunnar Nelson. Now, he almost had Gunnar Nelson out in the first round. I had Kevin Holland as a lock this week as an underdog. I didn't think he was going to be losing at 170. He looks so good at 170 that you just can't fucking take it away from him. And he wins 29-28 over Gunnar Nelson. Almost takes him out in the first round. Has Gunnar Nelson fucking hurt bad. Like bad. Like we're a second away from stopping the fight. Luckily, you have fucking Daniel Movahedi, who wants to watch people die and doesn't let Gunnar Nelson get out of there early. Gunnar Nelson stumbles back to his corner. His corner wakes him back up. We're good to go. Unfortunate for me because my cycle parlay involved Alexia Thanera by submission at plus 430, Lorna Kavanaugh by points at minus 110 or 120, and then Kevin Holland by knockout at a plus 240, and that would have paid $1,000. And unfortunately, Kevin Holland can't fucking finish Gunnar Nelson, even though Gunnar Nelson looks like fucking a slow slob. Even inside that third round, he had a busted up eye, he had a busted up forehead, and Kevin Holland just wasn't throwing strikes anymore. He kind of gassed out. Great win for Kevin. Moves back into the win column at 170 and into the win column in his career. I'd love to see him fight just more guys at 170. Give him 170 fights. This guy looks like a world beater at 170. He looks like he can own the 170 division. He looks like he fucking needs to be there. He needs to mop up the 170 division. I want to see him clear him out. Let's go. Kevin, the Trailblazer, is a beast. Give him all the 170s. He's going to beat all of them. We're going to go on next to the co-main event of the evening. If you guys did enjoy this so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you have not already, we have Carlos, the Black Jag, Alberg versus Jan Blachowicz. Now, I thought Jan got robbed. They gave it to Carlos Alberg. I was picking Jan all week. I thought Jan got robbed. It was a boring fight. It was entertaining for me, but I understand why it's a boring fight for you guys. It was a kickboxing point fight, and I thought Jan won it. We're going to take a look at the MMA decisions real quick. I really oh, there you go, robbery question mark Alberg decisions. I really thought it should have gone to Jan. I thought it was clear 29-28 for Jan Blachowicz. I guess majority of people gave it to Alberg, but I did give the rounds to Jan. I just thought he landed a bit more. I thought the leg kicks were all for Jan. I thought when they were going shin to shin, very clearly it was affecting Carlos more than Jan. Carlos's leg was chewed up. Jan was fine. I mean, Jan goes shin to shin. This dude's made of fucking stone. He did slow down in the third round, though. Very clearly his age taking a bit of a wreck at him in that third round. But Carlos wins rounds 2 and 3 on most judges' scorecards. I don't agree with rounds 2. Round 3, yeah, sure, but I thought Jan won rounds 1 and 2. The kickboxing was just a little bit better, landed the more significant strikes. Carlos kind of on the back foot the whole fight. So even if it was a close run, you should have given it to Jan over the aggressiveness. Carlos wins as a minus 350. Boohoo. Who gives a fuck? Any actual light heavyweight that, isn't fucking old or Volkan Oezdemir is going out. Like, he's going out. Like, give him Jamal Hill, give him Yuri Prohaska, give him any of those guys. Rakic, Alberg's losing. He's losing all day. Alberg just doesn't have... he doesn't look like he has the skill to be a champ. He doesn't look like he has that all-around capability. He looks like he just kind of hopes for the big power shots, and when they don't come, he kind of falls apart. And that's exactly what happened against Yan. He just looked like he was kind of falling apart. Didn't look like he expected Yan to be walking forward like that. Expected Yan maybe to be on a little bit more of the back foot. But not what happened. And Carlos Ulberg wins the decision that I think is bullshit. Womp womp. We're going to move on to the main event of the evening. If you guys did enjoy this, again, drop a like. Helps me out. Sean Brady versus Leon Rocky Edwards. Now, I had Sean Brady by submission all week. I had Sean Brady by round 3 submission is what I picked for the perfection. Unfortunately, we were just a minute off of that. He did have a Kimura lock inside the, I think his second round. Lost his third round. He almost had a Kimura lock again. Lost it fourth round. He's able to obtain the guillotine, mounted guillotine on Leon Edwards. Sean Brady fucking mauled him, man. Sean Brady looked like a world beater, clearly exposed Leon Edwards for his ground game. And if we really take a look back at Leon Edwards' career, you'll kind of see why you could see this coming. Colby Covington is trash. He was never good, so that win doesn't really mean anything. And a decision over Colby's kind of shit. Kamaru Usman majority decision. I thought Kamaru might have even won that third fight, or a draw. Kamaru Usman head kick. He was losing every single minute of that fight until that head kick. I watched it live, so you know what it is. Nate Diaz, trash. Bilal Muhammad, I poked the fuck out of Bilal. Bilal would have won that fight probably. RDA was, what, 36 during this fight? 34? Okay, so he beats up a younger RDA. That's pretty good. Gunnar Nelson, split decision. Okay. Donald Cerrone. Okay, well, Cerrone was on his way out at this point, right? Not yet. Not yet. This is right before he was on his way out. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You can just kind of see it come. Shitty fights over the last 4 years that kind of feeding him just easy fights for Leon. Meanwhile, you have fucking Sean Brady getting Gilbert Burns, who's still dangerous even though he's fucking 38. Like, Durinho almost took out Jack Della Maddalena. I'm just saying, like, he literally won that fight until he got knocked out. Was able to submit Calvin Gastelum, which Calvin never gets submitted like that, especially with Kimura. Jesus Christ. Beats Craig Jones in a fucking grappling match. Ben Sanderson. Kimura's Ben Sanderson. He should be a very big indicator this guy's nasty at the grappling. Craig Jones' victory in Fury Pro is one of the most fucking ridiculous things you should ever see in your fucking life. I actually can't believe that. I kind of forgot he fought Gabby Garcia. I forgot about that. I'm going to take a look at that after. You know, Chiesa, Jake Matthews submission. Sean Brady was just very clearly the more experienced grappler. He was the more experienced fighter in general, it feels like, even though he has less fights. And Leon's been in the UFC for a long time. Never really improved that grappling. Always focused on the kickboxing. Now, the first round was close. I gave it to Sean Brady. And then the next surpassing rounds was just all Sean Brady. The takedowns were very easy to get for Brady. Leon couldn't do anything. No takedown defense was working for Leon Edwards. He was just getting fucking chucked. And when he got guillotine tapped, he screams fuck right after. Excuse me, Jesus. He screamed fuck right after, knowing that he just kind of fucked up his career at this point. Does get submitted in London. Was 5-0 in London. No longer 5-0. Gets his first submission loss of his entire career. And Sean Brady improves to 18-1 with one more submission victory on his list. Now, that's all I got for you guys today for UFC Fight Night. Edwards versus Brady. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this recap and breakdown. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday for the predictions and breakdowns for the next fight, which is Steve Erceg versus Brandon Moreno, which is taking place on the 29th of March 2025. We'll be taking a look at that. We'll be giving you guys the best bets on the Thursday, and we'll be taking a look at anything else I like in between. If we like anything else, that's all I got for you guys this week. Again, hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'll talk to you guys all later. Peace.